This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay. So Teleportation Circle seems pretty legit. There is a lot of ETB abilities in this format. And rebuying them is very real value. This pack has several pretty nice cards in it. I mean, I like the Circle. It is a little build-aroundy, but I do like it. Ray of Frost is a pretty good removal spell against most people and excellent against Red. Red Dragon is an okay creature. And Priest of Ancient Lore is a nice little common. I think, really, most of this top row that isn't Monk of the Open Hand is stuff you feel okay about first picking at worst. Teleportation Circle definitely has the highest ceiling out of all this stuff. So, I think I'm going to go for it. I mean, the safe pick is probably like Ray of Frost or Priest of Ancient Lore, but we'll go with the Circle. Keeping in mind that we have it and that we want to pick up cards that let us abuse it. For example, like Displacer Beast. So blue-white is the best place to sort of end up if you have this. There's lots of ETB abilities there. Displacer Beast has a nice one. It lets you venture. And there's a lot of ETB ventures in blue-white at common and uncommon. This is a nice thing to rebuy too, but I think Displacer Beast is probably just the best card in this pack anyway. It's a pretty nice card. Yeah. I kind of doubt that 2-1 is going to wheel, but it'd be cool if it did. That's another card that's good with the Circle, obviously. Okay, so choices here. So Faraday is quite good. You do have to end up in a D20 deck with a whole lot of action to really make Faraday work. Dawnbringer Cleric is pretty nice because there's lots of enchantments in this format that are a problem, including class cards, and you know, it's also good with our Circle. Owlbear may just be the best card in this pack, so that is pretty interesting. And it is good with the Circle. I mean, we don't have to go blue-white. I'm kind of leaning towards Owlbear just because it's quite good. Like, you know, 2-for-1 potential is great. This card is, you know, pretty nice because of problem artifacts in the format. There's problem artifacts and enchantments in this format, so if you're playing best of one, you basically have to have artifact hate in your main board. So keep that in mind. All right, Guardian of Faith is quite good. You know, it doesn't let us abuse other ETB abilities, but it does let us do various things like save our creatures, and it's just got good stats. And we can actually rebuy its ability, although doing it at sorcery speed isn't exactly amazing, but sometimes it's worth doing. I think it is what we take. It's just a nice card in general. Yeah, so it's Teleportation Circle lets you do artifacts or creatures. Artifacts or creatures. All right, so don't really want this guy. You know, mostly just a 2-mana 2/2 and limited. Probably going to go with Air Cult Elemental. I really like these kinds of cards. I always do. You know, Dawnbringer Cleric is going to be quite good in our pack, but, you know, I think we take, I mean, in our deck, but I think we want the Elemental here. Okay, so we've got some things. This is not a very good ETB ability. It is one we can rebuy. It's just not very exciting. Yeah, these are all just sort of medium blue cards and a not especially good white card. So which medium blue card do I think is best? Probably the Investigator of these. The Conjurer is good if you're in like a ramp deck, but not that great anywhere else. So I think I take Arcane Investigator here. Okay. Delver's Torch still being here is, I think, good news. It's been a pretty nice equipment. It doesn't give a great stats boost, but, you know, constantly venturing is good. And we are in a venture. If we're blue-white, we are in a venture color pair. So, Bar the Gate and Contact Other Plane are good too, but I think Delver's Torch has impressed me more than they have so far in this format. All right, here's another great ability to rebuy that's just a good card anyway. Devoted Paladin is also kind of nice to rebuy. I mean, except it's not, because you only get to do it at the end of your turn. So, Whereas Sign of Stygia's rebuy ability makes a difference. Yeah, I mean, I think we just take the Monk. We may end up, who knows, maybe we'll get Bahamut or whatever, Baphomet, and maybe that'll work out for us. We don't have a ton of removal right now. I'm kind of interested in the Pit Trap here more than I am +2 Mace. I'll grab the Pit Trap. Alright, so I think we're pretty happy getting this Cleric back. And we'll take the Unicorn. We have like 1 way to gain life right now, but we may end up with more. So it does seem like blue-white's where we want to be. But we'll see. Neither of these are especially good. I guess Shocking Grasp is almost more likely to make the cut than the other card, but... Well, we got one anyway. So, we did get a blue rare, which is nice that it's on color, but it's not a very good one. You have to have a lot of artifacts to make it work, and that's... Especially because it doesn't count treasure, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to make it work. Okay, so... Pack 1, pick 1. I think I'd probably take Dragon's Fire here. It's a great removal spell, just, you know, in case you're wondering. I think that's what I would want to take. Bar the Gate's pretty good. I think we probably just go with Ray of Frost, though. It's a good removal spell. Like I said earlier, you know, we had one in our Pack 1, pick 1 scenario, but didn't take it. It is kind of unfortunate it doesn't work with our Circle, but it is pretty good. With our Circle, what we'd really like is that 3-mana 3/2 that lets us search up an enchantment and put it on top. That would be quite good in this deck, especially because we have other enchantments, too. So... This is another example of yes, it's an ETB ability, but it's not one that really works with what we're doing because it only happens in the second main phase. That said, it might still just be the pick here because this pack's not great for us. Both of these signposts are pretty nice. Yeah, this is a pretty bad pack for us overall. I like the Pegasus okay. Okay, got a couple classes. Neither of them are the incredible ones, though. Seems like we're getting... cut pretty hard right now, but it's early enough in the pack that I think maybe these packs just didn't have anything good in them. I can re-equip this for free every turn with our Circle, but I don't think I'm interested. I think we either want Hunter's Mark or Precipitous Drop. They're both great cards, and we would try to splash one of them. We're not that good at venturing right now. We're not terrible at it either, but we're not great at it. I think we take Hunter's Mark in the end. Okay. So, some decent cards here in blue. Wandering Troubadour is quite good. You know, landfall, kind of has landfall venture, which is cool. Another Investigator's okay. I'm kind of leaning towards the Paladin. I think that's what we'll take here. Yeah. It does feel like we're getting cut significantly right now. This is interesting because we could rebuy it every turn, and we do have 1 life gain payoff right now. So Potion of Healing is kind of interesting. Conjurer, you know, helps us ramp, which is okay, but it's not great. Probably better than Potion of Healing, though. I mean, it's kind of cute to grab the potion. If I had more life gain payoffs, I might consider it, but... Okay, so I think we probably want the Windseer. This has an ETB ability that we can rebuy, and it's really strong. I think we've just been seeing packs that were sparse because there's so much playable blue-white in this pack that it doesn't make sense otherwise. Yeah, we could pivot into green if it happens, but I think Windseer being here is a pretty good sign. Of course, then there's this pack. Secret Door is okay. You know, it's not a bad mana sink to have. It's probably just what we take. It's not like this pack has great stuff for anybody. I mean, the Herd Gorger's okay. But yeah, I'll just take Secret Door. Okay. Weird packs. These have been some weird packs. So I think we take a green card here because you see a Guard Approach isn't very good. And we could pivot into green. So we have picked up some more artifacts, but not enough. We'll grab the Mace here. Okay, well, yeah, I guess we'll take the green-white Signpost. And yeah, lots of reasonable green cards still here. Green does seem the most open. I mean, none of these are great, but they're all fine. I'll take another mace. And another one. I'll take a green card here, because I'm not going to play... I may not even play 2 +2 maces, so... Unless I end up with something crazy here. Alright, we did get another unicorn, which makes some cards a little more interesting for us. White Dragon is great. It's probably what we take. It's also good with our circle. But it's just good in general. Wouldn't hate Evolving Wilds. It would make it easier for us to splash. You know, Priest of Ancient Lore is good too. Veteran Dungeoneer is good. This pack is pretty well stocked, but we take the dragon. That tap down effect is just real good. Ooh. Okay. So another Torch is tempting, but I think Loyal Warhound is good enough, and it's another ETB ability, but I would play this in any white deck anyway, but it is another ETB ability that can come in handy. Another Torch would be cool. I wouldn't hate another Cleric either. But yeah, I think we take the Warhound here. So right now, we don't have the fixing for Hunter's Mark, not even close. And we do have a pile of green cards in our sideboard. We don't have enough D20 cards for that to make any sense, right? We've got 1, 2, you're not a D20 card, 2. Yeah, no, we've got 2. We do have the ability to repeatedly draw on a few cards because we've got the circle, but we probably just take Planar Ally here. Yeah, just take the Ally. It's a nice little attacker that ventures repeatedly. Speaking of venturing repeatedly, Fly here is pretty interesting. You know, just sticking it on something and going crazy with Venture feels pretty good. There's a lot of good blue and white cards in this pack. That second pack wasn't good to us, but I feel like the other two have been pretty good, because I'd like a lot of these things. We're doing relatively well on 2-drops. We're not in desperate need of taking, you know, something cheap. I'm leaning towards Dungeoneer here. Yeah, we're going to go with the Dungeoneer. It's an ETB ability. Oh, wow. Paladin class is still here. Wow, look at this pack. I would love Paladin class, White Dragon, Minimus Containment, or Scion of Stygia. We definitely take the class, though. It's the most powerful card in this pack, and a bomb, I think. So I'm pretty happy to take it that late. Ooh, okay. So we've got Plate Armor here, which is a powerful equipment. Another Dungeoneer is tempting, but I kind of feel like Plate Armor is just better. I mean, it's been a house. Yeah. So we also have Cleric class. We're not good enough at gaining life to make it work, though, unfortunately. We will take a Dungeoneer here, though. This was a strange draft. Like, that last pack, it felt like we were in the absolute worst. Like, we weren't in the right deck at all for our seat, and the other 2 packs have just been like, here's everything you could ever want. So, I think we take a Priest over a second Delver Torch. It's just a great card in general, and it lets us rebuy. You know, it's good with our circle. I do wish we'd picked up that card, the 3-mana 3/2 that lets us put an enchantment on top of our deck. But I think our deck looks pretty good without it. All the Dungeoneers showing up late, and I think we take them. You hear something on watch is a little tempting, but I think we take another Dungeoneer. We can gain life by venturing, it's true, but it's still not enough. I think maybe I want another Cleric more than I want a second Torch. Yeah. Cleric seems pretty nice. All right, we'll take Gloomstalker. I don't think it's going to make the deck. I think we're more interested in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, so... That Dwarf might be okay if we play, like, all of our equipment. Okay. All right. So, one thing we do not have a lot of is removal, and that is worrisome. But we do have things like Half-Elf Monk, which are sort of removal-esque. Yeah, we don't want these unicorns. We're not good enough at gaining life. I probably don't want more than 1 mace. I mean, especially now that we have plate armor. I mean, yeah, plate armor gets better with equipment, but +2 mace is just like so much worse than plate armor overall. We're cutting at least 1. We definitely have enough stuff for our circle to be nice. Do I want the Conjurer? I do have a couple of 6s, but it doesn't really feel necessary. Like, the ramp's not that great. So, is our curve low enough for Monk of the Open Hand to be worth it? We do have 4 1s. I think there's a reasonable chance we're cutting Secret Door, but we do have 4 1s, but I kind of think maybe we're just cutting both of those. I don't want to run this, but we're low enough on removal, I think we end up running this Pit Trap here. So we're mostly an aggro deck. Aggro Venture, basically, with some, you know, Blink, Flicker, Synergy. Should we ever get our circle, it's going to be an engine in most board states, and that's going to feel pretty good. But yeah, we need to cut a few more things. I think maybe Arborea Pegasus isn't great here. I mean, in my experience, being able to blow up enchantments is super important in this format, so I don't really want to cut the Cleric. We do have some ways to gain life, but it's still probably not enough for the Unicorns. I mean, we have Priest of Ancient Lore, 2 Dawnbringer Clerics, the Paladin, plus Venturing. These are all interesting things. I kind of wish I wasn't running the Monk, too. Like, I wish we could go more aggro, but we're desperate enough for removal that something like the Monk is important, I think. Maybe we're not an Arcane Investigator deck. We definitely still have enough 2s without it, and we're probably not that interested in it. We don't get any value out of the D20s and stuff. How's it going, Nate? Back to this Pegasus. Yeah, I think we'd probably cut the Pegasus. Well, the question is, do I want this +2 Mace or the Pegasus more? And I actually think I want the Pegasus more. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, this deck looks pretty solid. We'll see if we can do well with it. I think we have a good chance. We got Paladin class, that always helps. That always helps. Alright, so let's put what our current record is. Thank you for the sub, 421 Birds. With a username like that, you'll probably like the sub animation. Record. Alright. Oh, that shouldn't say record, it should say currently. I'm liking the format so far. I have, you know, one card that's been sort of miserable that we've run up against a ton, and it probably shouldn't have been an uncommon, is the Black Talisman. It just seems like, I mean, I've ended up in some pretty bad situations with it where I realize it's not always great, but basically every time my opponent has played it, it's been like, well, I think I'm gonna lose. So it has been, it's been kind of miserable to see it as much as we have, and we've had bad luck. Like, we've seen it a ton, and it's been rough. We've also drafted it and done well with it, but we drafted it twice. Once it was really good. The other time we kept drawing it when we were behind, and it's not that good when you're behind. This is a pretty good hand. You know, we don't have any like creatures before turn 3, but Paladin class turn 1 is into Delver's Torch is pretty good. So. Are they going to blow up my Paladin class right away? They are. Brutal. That's brutal. Okay, well, I think we play a creature now. We could have used one of those. Yeah, having a card to blow up artifacts in this set is good. You basically always want one main board. Same for enchantments. I mean, you do need it to have other modes, but they've put enough of those in this format that there are plenty of other modes. So we have kind of a free attack here. I mean, yeah, I think we just attack here. We get to gain life. They might be afraid to block. They're not. And then we'll play Priest of Ancient Lore. Yeah, main deck Plummet. This format is weird. I don't know why they printed a card like Plummet, frankly. Because these days they just don't print those cards anymore that just have one, like, sideboardy mode. But they did print one in this set in Plummet. I'm not loving how things are looking over there. They are very quickly amassing venturing and stuff, but we're actually kind of okay. This is eventually going to take from the sky, and that's not going to be good. But until it does, we do have some stuff we can do. Send our Paladin into the air here because we want to gain life. Also, it does more damage. Obviously, that matters. If we can play Planar Ally into Air Cult Elemental, that seems pretty good. Yeah, I wonder whether they're mono white or missing a color. You think if they were missing a color, they would have gone for the treasure, though. Thank you for the sub, Juan Elo. So the good news is, too, like, if we play Planar Ally here and don't draw the 6 land for the Elemental, we can play and equip Delver's Torch, which is pretty nice. We haven't done a very good job venturing so far. Deck's not, like, amazing at it, but we have several repeatable ways to venture, and I think that means we want to go with the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Dungeon of the Mad. What's crazy is literally every draft in this format, we've won our first game. Even yesterday, when we had that horrible 1-3 run. So, you know, we'll see if we can keep it up here. It's almost like, as mediocre as yesterday was, it's like, do I want to win my first game? We had a 1-3 and a 2-3. And a 3-3 where we won our first 3 games, so, you know, seems like our opponent disconnected or something. Okay, so we are going to be able to do our Planar Ally nonsense here. And Planar Ally into Air Cult Elemental. The one thing that's awkward is all their creatures have ETB abilities, so the idea of bouncing them doesn't appeal to me that much. But, yeah. So maybe it'll just be better to play the Torch. Could definitely be the case. If they play something worth bouncing, I might change my mind. But right now, I don't really see any reason to bounce anything if I don't need to. I could get rid of the token permanently, but, you know. Yeah, I think right now, unless they play like a scary 5-drop here, I think we play the Torch and equip it and hold on to Air Cult Elemental for later. And we'll get 2 ventures in 1 attack. So, that'll be pretty good. Where are the other dungeons at? I guess they show up if I look at a venture card, right? Yeah. Yeah, so Dungeon of the Mad Mage, we'll get a life and Scry 1 next turn. Torch and Ally does venture twice, but I hit harder. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think our opponent disconnected, which is rough for them. For sure. Let's play the Torch. I do think I'm going to put it on the Pegasus, if only because if they remove one of them, I don't have to like, they're both scary attackers right now because of Venture. So yeah, we go with the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I don't have a choice, so I don't know why you're acting like I do. I think the Warhound seems fine. It's just another body, but I'll take it. More bodies seem good to have on the ground here. So we've got this Air Cult Elemental that will do some serious work. Next turn, I guess we probably will make it so something they have can't attack us, like the Cloister Gargoyle, in case they've ventured enough, but it's not that great. But a treasure's not very useful for us right now either, so it doesn't really matter which one of those we pick. I guess the treasure is useful if we then do Muiral's or Runestone Caverns, because it'll make it easier for us to cast what we reveal. Yeah. I think our opponent disconnected, which sucks for them, because we weren't, like, handily in the lead until they got disconnected. Yeah. Well, our streak of win the first game has continued into our 9th draft. But as you can see from our record, winning the first game has not necessarily translated into great records. So maybe they're playing on mobile, yeah. I've yet to do that. I actually have a phone upgrade where I can get a phone that could actually play it on mobile, but I don't think I want to do that to myself. Magic is like a big part of my life whenever I'm sitting in this room, and when I leave it, it's not. I think I want to leave it that way, you know. I will probably upgrade my phone, but not for that. This is not a good hand because of the massive amount of mana we don't have. I think we have to mulligan this. This is better. I mean, we have the same amount of mana, but we have more things we can actually play. We're so far from Air Cult Elemental, I think it's what I'll bottom. That's a good 3-drop to draw. If we can curve out 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, I think we'll be pretty happy. Looks like we're going to try to, anyway. Well, at least 2-drop, 3-drop. Looks like that part will happen. So if they just leave up mana here, I wonder whether it's better for us to actually play Plate Armor and play around the counter magic. I think it probably is. I mean, Plate Armor on the Paladin itself is just a problem, so... Okay. That is probably what we do here, is just equip it and attack. Interesting. So... This can actually search me up a plains tapped right now, but it can also do it next turn. It's probably... I'm just going to equip the Paladin here and swing in. It's just, you know, lifelink is just so good, you know? So they could be leaving up that counter magic again. This time I don't think I'm going to play around it quite as hard, because I don't need to as much. Let's attack with our Paladin. So... let's try to play the Warhound, and then I'll probably put Ray of Frost on that Windseer, or think about it at least, if they counter this. Yeah, I think they definitely have the counter spell here. But we're in pretty good shape overall. I think we go ahead and put the Ray on this so that we shut down its ability to block this next turn. It can't tap things down anyway, because they're not playing red, so... if they have their 5th land, I guess they can kill our Paladin. But... that's probably okay. Let's make them have that 5th land. They have it. We will still have plate armor, so... Oh yeah, Ward 1. God, I think one forgets about Ward 1. Severely underrated the Conjurer. The Conjurer? The Conjurer? What Conjurer are you talking about? Ward 1 is a wonderful thing. I think the 2/3 that untaps is fine, but I do think it needs to be in a specific deck. I mean, I think it's just a C. I think I'd leave that Conjurer at C at this point in the format. All right. So we will play Dungeoneer here. Scry 1's a little tempting, but just because maybe we could hit a land that would let us play and equip stuff. Oh, crap. Of course. So the good news is we can still move plate armor, so it's not a complete disaster. And we kind of need to, because if we don't... Oh, yeah, because if we don't, they're going to gain so much life. So yeah, we just attack with this 6/7. They can't block it, because if they do, they lose the Paladin. And then next turn, we can play Pegasus and win, hopefully. That's the hope. How good do you think the Conjurer is, B. Gekamon? Gekamon? Okay. Well, now winning isn't going to happen quite as easily. You only destroy enchantments, don't you? Which, I guess, means I get rid of Charmed Sleep. That seems pretty good. Then we'll play Displacer Beast. Don't really need another land right now. I mean, I know it negates tap effects, but that's still not, like, enough for me. It is actually Sorcerer Speed, the Conjurer. So that's a problem, but we are going to force them to block here, so it's a little less of one. Because we'll play the Pegasus here. Give this flying, and they just have to block with Imrith here. Interesting. I can also attack with the Beast, but it's probably not worth it. They have to block with Imrith here or die. What do we get? Nothing great. So if I try to move my equipment to the Pegasus, they're going to fire off the Pit Trap on it. Seems like attacking with these three is what we want to do here. And I can actually return the Displacer Beast and replay it if I really want to. So, yeah. Probably better to just play Dungeoneer unless they block in one way or another here. Okay, so they're going to use up a blocker and the Pit Trap here to take down our Dungeoneer. Alright, so we will return the Beast. I think it's worth doing. Well... Probably better to just kill their creature, actually. So, yeah, we'll let these happen. Drop them to They'll still be at 4 because they'll gain back 2. Yeah, losing with those bombs must feel bad, for sure. We were there yesterday, though, with some amazing bombs. I guess Treasure's going to be more useful than... Yeah, so we'll make a Treasure. Stick Plate Armor here so it's lethal on its own. Plate Armor has been the real MVP, of course, because it's... I definitely underrated Plate Armor and the Talisman. You know, what's funny about the Talisman is I had it at like a B. Like, if you were my patron and you were reading my like early notes about the format, I had it at a B, and then I hedged it down to a C+ because I was like, well, it doesn't give you Death Touch when you're blocking, and it's like, that's true. And maybe right now I'm overly high on it because I keep seeing it in situations where it's crazy good. And again, if you're behind, it's not that good. But it is good if you're at parity or ahead. So as long as you have a bunch of creatures, it probably is like a B. Maybe even a B+. I mean, right now, you know, and it's based on a small sample size. Right now, I think it might be the best uncommon in the set, the Talisman. So that tells you a lot about how good it is. Right, seems solid. Got some dungeon things to do. Have one of our few removal spells. That's our deck's big weakness. It'll probably come up at some point where, you know, in that last game, the only reason we were able to beat both of those bombs is because we got so far ahead. But if we're ever in a game where it's like parity and our opponent plays those cards, we're pretty much dead. Because we have like Ray of Frost and Spike Trap. That's pretty much it. We do have the Half-Elf Monk, which is like pseudo-removal, but yeah. Thank you for the follow, Mama Boo. Alright, so we're going to play the Cleric here and just gain the life. We could use the body. Okay. Thank you for the follow, just about. So here we're just going to play our Torch. We did draw our pseudo removal. Darn, I was kind of hoping they search up a mountain so our Ray of Frost would be better, but they didn't. So we'll play Delver's Torch here. Veteran Dungeoneer this next turn. Maybe, probably. I mean, it depends on what they do, I guess. They're playing all the cool jumpstart lands. Okay, so this becomes a pretty big problem if they ever manage to, ooh, nice. If they ever manage to complete a dungeon, and Black-White is pretty good at doing that, so I think we just play the Dungeoneer. I don't think equipping the Torch is very good. Thank you for the follow, Head King. So I think we go for the value with our repeatable venture sources. I just think that's going to be better to go through the big dungeon. And we'll end our turn. Thank you for the gift subs, Von Ham. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. You all have access to Hoopo emojis now. That's the word Hoopo with emoji-is on the end. Enjoy. Wow, that's an aggressive Minimus Containment. So that means I can play White Dragon next turn. I think I like that. White Dragon, tap that thing down. Seems pretty great to me. Yeah. We could blow this up later and get it back, but it's really not that great. So, I mean, it already did the thing we needed it to do, which is Delve, or Delve, yeah. Yeah, we'll go ahead and tap this thing down. I think just getting the huge body out there is worth it. Even if the tap here isn't the most powerful effect ever. Yep, Von Ham used a hoop emoji. Hoopo emoji. So we've got plate armor, which we'll equip for 2 right now, which is pretty great. Don't love seeing monk class, however, yeah, I mean, I think we equip Delver's Torch here to the flyer. If they do have a way to bounce it or something, I guess that might be kind of a bummer, but we'd get the effect again, so I think I'm okay with it. So next turn they can level it up and bounce something, but again, I think I would be okay with it. So we'll scry 1 here. I think we're good on lands. Thank you. So do I want to tap down Barrowin here? I don't think I need to. I think we just play our plate armor. They can bounce any non-land permanent, notably, so there's stuff they might want to bounce here. Interesting. So they get the Venture Trigger. They have to lose the other Barrowin, obviously, which is rough for them. But yeah. The downside of having legendary uncommons is that happens a heck of a lot more than it normally does. Okay. Well. Okay, I was gonna say, I think we just suit up Dawnbringer Cleric, attack, and play another thing. Alright, we've won our first 3. Let's see if we can avoid losing our next 3, which we've done twice in this format. But yeah. We haven't gotten to go off with our teleportation circle at all yet, which is kind of sad. We mulliganed an opening hand that had it, because the hand had nothing else, basically, so... That was rough. This is a slow hand, but since we're going first, I don't think it's a disaster. Hey, Huckabee. We also have Paladin class, in addition to the Circle being a pretty big bomb in this. Geocaden, your statement is a strange one to me, because in every format you can win or lose games with bomb rares in this format. That's like what a bomb rare is. A game-winning type thing. I don't love seeing her early, especially when we don't have anything to play until next turn, but maybe we'll be okay. There's a lot of scary things they could play here that would get a counter. But we can go Dungeoneer, Air Cult Elemental, and bounce whatever they play, I guess, which isn't the worst thing ever. We definitely, you know, in this deck, Teleportation Circle probably is like an A. That's a nice little effect to get a 3-mana 3/3 that gives you another treasure like that. So we're gonna go through the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, go up to 20. Next turn we play another Dungeoneer, which we'll get to scry off of. Yeah, they did miss a land drop, it's true. I mean, I think we force them to use a card here if they have it. Yeah. So if they use Manticore here or something to kill it, I'm not going to really be heartbroken. Not that heartbroken about that either, because it still comes out as a 2-for-1. Look at all the Dungeoneers. We're going to scry. Dawnbringer Cleric, huh? None of its effects are especially useful right now, but it is a creature, and not a land, and we kind of are set on lands. Do I just want the body? I don't really think I do, actually. I'd like to draw some more action, more like real action. They're probably going to play a class card now that I said that. So we can turn off an attacker, and we're going to want to. Just kidding, because we're just going to bounce the thing. Ooh. So this is interesting. If we give up a land here... Yeah, so we definitely give up a land here, play the Dungeoneer, and then use this to make it so their creature can't attack us. Yeah, so we give up a land. We play a Dungeoneer, and then we can Air Cult Elemental it next turn. And attack for 6, hopefully. Okay. Our deck is... Spot removal is just, overall, not very good against our deck because of all the ETBs. The bad news here is we haven't hit them yet. We finally have. And if they draw a land here, they can just replay that elemental. And they do. And we don't want to go with the fireball instead. Thank you for the gift subs, Big Daddy Huckabee. I really appreciate it. Okay, so we attack. We play a flyer. So I think we're enough ahead now that I don't feel quite as much like I'm in trouble against the elemental. Okay, that's a good draw. We can go pretty crazy with it right away. So we go Paladin class. Level it up. We attack them for 4. We'll take Guardian of Faith. Probably just going to be better to level this up and attack with Planar Ally. Then making us sack our lands has mattered, because if we had more, we'd be able to level it up and play like Guardian of Faith. Okay. That's pretty gross. But none of it matters. Oh, Genie Windseer does. They can play the Windseer here and have a blocker. Okay. So here's what we do. We level this up. We attack with both, and we pump the Veteran Dungeoneer. If we pump the ally, it's a must block, I guess. But the Dungeoneer is going to be a must block too. And it can kill Earth Cult Elemental in combat, so... Yeah. So I think we go for the Dungeoneer. Then we make 2/2/2... Yeah, I think we want the skeletons when we have this Anthem effect going. So they have to block that. They don't have to block our Planar Ally, but, you know. They will have to next turn, most likely. Scry 3 is next, but then we're only one step away from the game-winning effect. Well, that changes things, doesn't it? Alright, so we play the cleric here. Is there anything we want to exile? Don't think so. Play the cleric here. So we'll gain the 2 life. The good news is, basically any creature we have is sort of a must block, but yeah. They did kind of get us here. Ooh, that's good. Alright, so play plate armor. It already was a must block, but now we can give it ward 1. So they have to block. It's luckily sack another creature, but they can use it to draw some treasure first. Draw a card with treasure first. Interesting. So they probably don't attack here and leave back the Windseer to block? Okay, maybe not. Kind of thought they would, because if they do that, they can block with that, and then Drider can start doing its thing. Yeah, we've had some nice top decking against us this weekend, for sure. Good. Another creature is just a good draw here, because... yeah, so they have to block Dawnbringer Cleric. Or die. Then we play our Warhound. So these are both lethal. Okay. Force them to block again. I mean, there's a very real chance now that they could find a way out of this. I'm gonna hold on to this just to bluff. Like, if they draw another if they just keep drawing creatures, especially one that makes a creature token, my god. This pretty much sums up how the weekend has gone. I mean, at least we're at 3-0 in this case, but like, this is ridiculous. That they just top-decked creature after creature after creature. And now we're dead. My god. Let's see if they're too scared to attack for some reason. That'd be cool. We're not quite dead if they attack like that. Oh my god, I can't believe they... like, if we'd drawn away to get rid of that 1-1, at least we would have been able to do something. Oh man, this weekend. Okay. Like, they attacked way too aggressively there. Either they needed to swing out, or only attack with the Windseer, I think. And, yeah. Ugh. Well, let's see if we can scare them again. But I think we lost. Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, I can, because this is kind of just how it's been this weekend. So, you know, they drew their, like, Meteor Storm thing that was, like, one of the few cards in the format that could have saved them. And had the exact right amount of mana to kill all 3. And then we drew billion lands in a row, while they drew creature after creature after creature. Just to recap. You know, I'd be more excited about the fact that we're 3-1. We're 3-0 if we hadn't had 2 3-0s turn into 3 3s lately. But what are you going to do? This is a solid hand, of course. You don't really want that thing to get too large. But we'd have a lot of flyers, which will make it... Ah. Okay, so I think we just want to play the, just sort of curve out here, play the Windseer. Scry 2 is nice there. So I think we bottom. I guess we actually really want a 6th land because we have both White Dragon and Air Cult Elemental coming up. So I think we leave the land on top here. Yeah. And I'm not going to attack. Yeah. Your creature's big. I get it. We're in kind of a bad spot here. These can both attack us really well this next turn. But I'm hoping when we go White Dragon, Air Cult Elemental, it'll pull us back where we need to be here. So, yeah, I think we just attack with our flyer. Play our planar ally in the turn. Not good. Not good. Alright, so we take 7. I think we're losing this one. What a surprise, huh? Ugh. Frustration, man. It mounts. So, I guess Air Cult Elemental is pretty nicely sized here. So I think I'm actually going to play it before I play the dragon. And I think we'll use it to bounce Trelasara here. Is scrying a good enough reason to attack? I mean, I'm not planning on blocking a whole lot, so I think it is. We're not going to have time to make it through this dungeon or get to the really good effects, so I think we need to just do this one. Veteran Dungeoneer's not bad, but I'd kind of like... I guess we'll leave it. I'm sure we're playing White Dragon this next turn either way, so... Yeah, we had a pretty good curve. It's true. All right. Good chance we die here, but I think we have to block. Kill these both. That will make this bigger, but we'll tap it down with White Dragon, and they will trample here, so if they have a trick, they can kill us. But if I block more aggressively and they have a trick, they still kill us, so I think blocking less aggressively and hoping they don't have the trick is our only real option here. So White Dragon can tap down Drizzt, which I think will be good, obviously. Especially if they don't have anything too scary to play. It may really allow us to stabilize. Looks pretty good, stabilizing does. We'll get a goblin when we venture, so... You don't have reach, right? No. Yeah, so we'll attack here. Get a goblin to protect us a little bit. We may be able to tempo our way back into this. Let's try, because we have the dragon to lock this down now, and then we have Scion of Stygia for the next turn. We can attack in the sky again. They're not that far. 4, 7, 10. Well, I can actually play plate armor and win the game here if they don't play a... Oh, they gotta... Yeah, never mind. I should have probably attacked more aggressively this turn. The way things panned out. Yeah, I think I chose a subpar option. What's next here? Each opponent loses 1 life. I can put a counter somewhere. It's really sad we haven't managed to get Teleportation Circle going, is what's real sad. If we finish this and we don't get to go off with it, I'm gonna be sad. Okay, so... Plate Armor, Scion of Stygia is probably what we need to do here. I maybe should have gone... I mean, getting the 1/1 was good, but the -4, -0 would be nice right about now. Yeah. So we'll stick a counter here, making it big enough to block everything. Then we'll play plate armor and leave up our Scion to tap down Drist. These flyers might get us out of this. I hope they don't roll another D20 though. So I could actually tap down their 1/1 flyer, and that would give us lethal in the air. Is that just better? It is if they don't have something, but the problem is I have to block Drist. I think this is probably better. So, we throw a goblin in front of that. Yeah, put the goblin here. They could have the trample trick. Do we want to play around the trample trick? I mean, I'm dead. You know, if they give it +2/+2 and trample here. That would mean we take 11. So, even if I throw Air Cult Elemental and Scion of Stygia in front of it too, there's no good way for me to hold on to lethal damage. So I think we just have to cross our fingers and hope they don't have the trick. I mean, the elemental blocking doesn't do enough to save us either. So, yeah, we just go for the chump and cross our fingers. Because if they have it, then we're dead. So, okay. Looks like he didn't have it. Damn it. They are rolling a D20, though. That's not good for us. Ah. That's a pretty darn good draw. Because it'll allow us to block everything and save everything. Are we dead, though? We do get to draw a card off of Planar Ally. I think we're dead. Wait, do I have lethal with 1 flying blocker? I think we do. 1 flying blocker. Yeah, we have lethal. Does it matter where I put this? Let's hope that works. Yes. Oh, man. Things got scary there. You know, when you end up in a mindset when you've had a rough run, too, where you just stop realizing that you have ways to win. Like, I start going off the rails just after that one loss just because, you know, saltiness. But we got there. We're going to have a positive record this time. We did it. We did it. So last week, Saturday was our good day and Sunday was our bad day. Maybe this week it'll be the reverse. I don't know. Could happen. Why aren't you letting me... There we go. I really want to get that teleportation circle going. We've had so many board states where it would be insane, but we haven't drawn it. Like, basically every game, if we had it in play, it would turn into a ridiculous engine. Ooh. Complain and it will come. So, this isn't a hand where Loyal Warhound will really, like, go crazy. Like... It's best to just play him as a 2-mana 3/1, and then later in the game, maybe it'll fetch us up planes with our teleportation circle. But yeah, we definitely just play the Warhound here as a creature, and... There's basically no way they block here, so I think I just attack. If they do block... I'm cool with it, actually. Yeah, because Kaya is gross. So we get to go Displacer Beast, Teleportation Circle next turn, which is pretty good. I think that's what I'm leaning towards doing, is blinking our Displacer Beast. Getting another Venture. Yeah. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Play our circle. They may kill our beast, but even if they do, I'm not going to be too broken up about it. Now we'll scry. We want a 5th land. Doesn't do much for us to get a 5th land. Everything, yeah. So I don't think so. We'll draw one eventually. I definitely just take the hit here. Wonder what I play next. The circle's pretty good when you build around it, and we did a pretty reasonable job, so it's pretty good. This is the first time we've gotten to go off with it, sadly, but, you know. Alright, so I think we play Pegasus here, swing in for 4, and then blink our beast again. Seems pretty good, right? Turning off one of these attackers isn't terrible, and the treasure doesn't do a whole lot, so I think turning off an attacker is good. It'll help us in the race a little bit. I mean, it doesn't make that much of a difference, because whatever I don't target, I guess, is just going to get pumped, but I think it's fine. It's probably... Treasure might have just been better there, because one thing can attack us either way. We get to scry 2 next. Question is whether I'd rather just straight up draw cards with our priest, though. Kind of think maybe we would. think I want to trade for the Hired Hexblade. Okay, so... I mean, if we keep going through the dungeon, we're going to get some insane value. I think we probably just attack in the sky here, blink our Displacer Beast to scry 2, and then leave up mana for Guardian of Faith. Yeah. That seems pretty good, I think. The Half-Elf Monk is a pretty good blocker here, so maybe that's worth thinking about, though. Maybe I just play the Monk. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Monk, now that I think about it. And then we're going to scry 2. So, we don't have much removal, so I think the Pit Trap is a welcome sight. We'll bottom the Plains. We already have 5 for the Pit Trap, so... Thank you for the follow, Max Fiesta and Rotmus. Ooh, another one of those is not good. They have 3 treasure to sacrifice, so they can make something absolutely massive. That's not going to be fun. Like that. We can tap it down forever is the good news. Ooh, my god. They just made us sack 2 permanents. Well. That is bad. We lose a land. The question is whether I want to lose 2 lands. I think holding on to the Monk is more important than the Pegasus, sadly. We're not really the beatdown anymore. So, yeah. I do think we're in pretty good shape thanks to our Displacer Beast, so we have that going for us. They're tapped out, so I'm just going to block the 3 and take the 2. Alright, so... I think we just play the Priest here. We won't have mana to tap down the Elemental, but I will have 2 1/1s to block, so I'm not that broken up about it. Yeah. We're close enough to the end of this dungeon that I definitely think we just keep cranking through this part. Hold on to this spiked Pit Trap to flash it in. So, I'm going to chump you, trade for you, because there will be treasures in the future, and take 4. That seems okay. I think there are enough tricks and stuff that could really screw us if we try to block with any of the rest of this. I could chump with another skeleton, but I think holding on to it's fine. Yeah, so we will do that. Go to 10. We get to scry 3 next turn. Ah. Okay. Well, now we don't get to. Game over. If only I had Guardian of Faith mana, that'd be hilarious. Alright, so we play our Pit Trap. Our Dungeoneer gives us a tiny bit of a chance. Well, the reason I'm not blinking the Priest is because I think I need Mad Wizard's Lair to win the game. So, yeah. So we're going to Veteran Dungeoneer here. Oh, we actually do get there. We actually do get there thanks to our teleportation circle. Okay, I don't hate drawing plate armor, but it's not massively impactful. But it is a real card, but I honestly think we just bottom it and try to hit... We need to hit our red-hating removal spell, basically. Let's do it. That's not that useful. That did not go well. Did not go well. Yeah, Dragon would have been really good. We are getting to go off with our teleportation circle, so I can't be too broken up about the situation. But yeah, I mean, you know. Fifth land does let us kill Orcus, at least. And then we go back to the dungeon, I guess. Never mind. So I think fifth land, kill Orcus. I guess I could also just tap down the Earth Cult Elemental, take another hit from Orcus. I'm trying to decide if just tapping down the Elemental and then also flashing in Guardian of Faith is worth it. I could also just play a 3/3 who can block Orcus, but he tramples. I guess maybe playing the 3/3 is our best bet, honestly. Neither of these really help, so we're just going to bottom them both. We do get to scry again, which is nice. Paladin class is potent, but honestly, it's not removal. So, so I think we have to bottom it, sadly, and just keep trying to find the removal that we need, because Paladin class just isn't going to get it done this late in the game. So we have to block with Half-Elf Monk. So we go block, block. If they have any trick or anything like that, we're dead. And now we have to hope we draw removal, basically. So, you know, the Half-Elf Monk could have at least tapped down the Elemental, but... yeah, that's not going to do it. They can just use this ability to kill us, so... we did get to go off with our circle, but it didn't get us there. I mean, it's because of Orcus, obviously. I mean, beating Orcus is hard. Of course, when we had Orcus yesterday, it was basically never good. Rough. You know, the plate armor, as low as their life was, casting it for free might have been kind of nice. We could have pressured them a little bit, at least. But yeah. I was just desperate to find removal, or our dragon with an ETB ability, or our elemental with an ETB ability. Either of those showing up would have been great with our circle in play, but they didn't, of course. So let's mulligan. You know, this hand just doesn't work if we don't draw white mana, so this hand is much better. The dragon is very impactful, but I think we're far enough away from it mana-wise that we just have to bottom it. Alright, so we are going to curve out a little. I mean, a 3-4-5 curve out isn't exactly breaking the bank, but... Is a trade here? Okay. I feel like if they're attacking like this, it means they have some other X2 they really want to be able to attack with. Yeah, like that one. I could go for the Scion here, which isn't bad. But I like the Half-Elf Monk. It's a good blocker against both. We have a good blocker for both of them. I may make it unblockable or something. Or they won't. Alright, so I think we just play Planar Ally now and end our turn. A big creature on this board. Attack with our ally. Yeah, I think we go for the dungeon, as we mostly have been. And we end our turn. I wonder whether it's going to even be worth tapping anything here. They can start using this ability. I mean, it's going to be worth tapping something with my Scion. I was trying to decide if I think it's worth tapping anything with my Monk. But yeah, we definitely play Scion here. Try to. They may counter it with Bar of the Gate, yeah. Okay. See, if the problem is if I tap the 4/4, it means that something else is going to get through. I don't really want either of these to get through. So I'd almost rather allow the 4/4 to attack me than allow the 3/2 and the 2/5 to attack me. So I think we just leave it be. Interesting. So I think we assign this block and let them hit us for 6 in Venture. They're not in the crazy good dungeon, at least. The one that does crazy things. Although, none of them do anything super crazy early on, I guess. Uh-oh. Okay, drawing removal's good, and they're not going to know we have it, so I like that. Do we need to venture? Are we desperate enough to attack here to venture? I think we probably are. Bottom the plains. So here, I do think I tap because... Yeah, I mean, I think we tap down the 5/3 and then kill the 4/4 with Spiked Pit Trap. We have 7 mana, so we can't do it all. We can't do it all. We would need 1 more mana to do it all. In that case, I think maybe I just Pit Trap the Herald here. Let's see how they attack us. Alright, so we play our Pit Trap here. Try to kill the Herald. If we get a treasure, I guess if we'd done it sooner, we would have had the treasure. That would have been cool. Alright, so they hit us here for 8. We can turn off an attacker this next turn, which is good. But we need to draw, we really need to draw a real card here. And we do draw a relatively real one. But yeah, we definitely attack. Turn off Grim Wanderer's ability to attack us. Player Loyal Warhound. But yeah, we're not in good shape. I think we just take the 3. Gaining 2 life doesn't really do it for us. So, 4 and 3 it is. You know, I think this deck was pretty good. That game we lost where we had Paladin class and were so far ahead was rough. 4-3 would have been nice, but, you know, what are you gonna do? 5-3, I mean, would have been nice. I'll take the winning record, though, because just getting those has been a trial so far this weekend, so...